Give me a hug.
A cold cuddle. I told you, I warned you when we started this series, it could get emotional.
Bit emotion.
All right.
Good morning.
Episode 6.
Episode number 6.
Kind of going wild.
We've gone a little bit rogue.
Wait. I feel like I need to give some context here. We're in a totally different place. The night before we filmed this, we drove from Florence for many hours after our food tour with a full tummy to this small rural town, Bobbio. It was wherever the bridge is that the Mona Lisa sat on while getting her painting done. So that's where we are now.
I mentioned wanting to do this in episode 4, and somehow we managed to make it happen.
Ben, our very talented producer, waved his magic wand and has managed to get us a moped.
You need to hear more about this motorcycle situation. What happened behind the scenes was really ridiculous. Ben, who you guys met in other episodes, was calling, because I told them, I was like, we need to do this. Like, I want to ride a moped. I want to ride a motorcycle. Let's go. He wasn't able to get any for rental. Ben went out trying to find a bike, and he literally flagged over a random stranger, paid him cash to rent the bike for an hour. So that is how we got this bike.
Our noble steed over here is gonna help get us around. Do you trust me?
You walked me into a planter, but, and now it's just walking on foot. Whether I trust you or not, I'm doing it, you know?
We're doing this.
Let's go.
Let's get around it. All right, let's get that nice and...
I'm so stoked.
I'm just gonna make it a little tighter.
I mean, I'd be more stoked if I was the one driving the whole time, but I don't think Sam would be. I trust him 8 out of 10. I could die crossing the street, you know? So why not go out having fun?
Okay,
but don't kill me, okay?
We both go down together.
Aww, we're all in this together. Feels
Alex.
like a good time for a High School Musical reference.
Set.
Let's do it.
Jump on first.
Okay. Oh Lord, it's moving. Okay. There's no seatbelts on these things, huh? Oh hey.
Oh hey.
Let's get this down. We gotta protect the eyes, you know? They're very important.
Hold up.
Not for me, but other people. We have helmets. They ain't cute ones, but we're safe.
We are safe. What side of the road do they drive on again, Mom?
Oh Lord.
I'm kidding.
The opposite side of what you Aussies do.
Let's do it.
Okay, bye.
See ya. And we're off.
Whee! It feels so free on a bike. Oh, I wish I could ride one of these everywhere. Plane vlogging isn't easy, okay? The views are beautiful from back here.
Okay.
Only here.
Grazie.
Doing what we can.
Oh, that bridge is so beautiful. Look at that. It's like old stone. It's got like vines growing up the side of it.
You didn't kill me. I don't even know how to get this thing off.
Me neither.
Got it. Oh, man.
Got some nice helmet hair there, Mom.
Yeah, right? That's what I'm thinking. This is not a look for me. We do the classic Molly top knot. That's the style.
I feel like we've gone back in, like we've been teleported back in time.
I wonder how long Mona Lisa sat here. Well, Leonardo da Vinci
Hopefully
painted
it was
her.
in summer, otherwise
Hopefully, yeah, it was not like. No wonder she's not smiling that big. I wouldn't be smiling if I was sitting here for hours in the cold.
I also want to do a little bit of a disclaimer. I will be talking about depression and suicidal ideation coming up here. So if that's a trigger for you, please be aware. I'm also going to link some resources down below in the description box if you are struggling or know somebody who is. And I just want to encourage anybody who's in a difficult place right now to please reach out for help, reach out for support. It'll make a huge difference in your life. Getting help is the only reason I'm still here, and I'm living proof that it not only can get better, it will get better.
I learned how to say retinitis pigmentosa when I was like 6. Like, I would tell people I'm gonna go blind one day. I have this disease that I was born with. Like, I spent my whole life explaining it, and it never meant anything. It was just words for me until 2008, when like my whole world changed. Like, I just had to let like the person I was die. Oh. Like, I just had to let her go. And I remember like one of the things, because I knew it was happening.
Yeah.
I could see that like colors were fading, and like I could tell, because they never knew when it was gonna happen. Like, they knew it would, they didn't know when. And for months, like, I just knew it was time, and I went for my yearly appointment at Sick Kids with my ophthalmologist, and she she told us that I lost a significant amount of my vision, and like, I just went numb for like so long. Like, I was just numb for so long. And like, I've always been like the person you've met on this trip. Like, I've always been like bubbly, outgoing, crazy, sassy. Like, that's me. And then all of a sudden, I was just like a shell of a person.
Yeah.
I remember telling my friends, and obviously like they didn't mean it in this way, but like one of them was like, well, at least you're not dying of cancer. And I get that like it wasn't meant to be. Like, she was trying to be like, at least you're not a starving child in Africa. Like, you know, like we all do that. And she didn't mean it that way, but like for me, I felt like I was dying.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like I had to let her go.
That was
like,
your world.
And I literally had to watch it die. Like, and it's something so few people have to go through, like, especially at such a young age. And, you know, I talk about this all the time. Like, I talk about different moments of being bullied, and I talk about my depression, and like, that's my whole life. But it's like I've turned it off. Like, it's like somebody else's story that I tell.
Yeah.
And it's like I've just gotten so used to talking about these things that they're not real to me anymore. And those are the things I've gotten comfortable saying. But there's so much more that I never say and that I never bring up. And I feel like being on this trip and like celebrating this anniversary made me reflect on like all those other parts of what I went through. Because I feel like just to survive, like just to cope, I blocked so much of it out. You know, like, people know I was suicidal. Like, I talk about that openly.
And was there obviously you had that like quite dark period, but do you remember a moment where you kind of felt like you found your new self, where you kind of found your feet? Or was that something that was kind of learned over time?
I've been suicidal, so I can speak from my own experience. But like, when I was in that place, like, felt like I was this burden on everybody around me. And the moment I decided that I just wanted to end it was like the happiest moment I had had that year, because I knew it was going to be over. And like, I knew I didn't have to live through this anymore. And like, thank God my parents like saw all the signs, because I was very much like, you Google the symptoms, I literally had every single one. Like, I was just like a walking billboard for what a suicidal teen looks like. And so they were able to step in and like get me the help. But and part of that was my trip to Paris, and that was like part of my journey to recovery. It was like the one bright spot in like the worst year of my life. And it's hard to like think that that was me, because who I am today, like, I just love my life.
Yeah.
And I just feel so grateful. And I like hurt for every person who has to feel the way I did, and who like doesn't get help. And that's like why I try to talk about it, because so many people don't. And like, and I want
I want to give a voice to the people who don't survive and like the people who don't talk about it. I guess for me, like when I was in that dark place, I stopped speaking. And like you said, like, is that what made you feel strong being on that stage? It like was. It was my identity. It was like,
Yeah.
it was my thing. Like, it's like my purpose.
Of course.
And the moment I stopped doing that and I hid myself away from the world, I like lost so much of my fight and I gave up on myself. And I remember sitting with my mom one day and I just like out of nowhere was like, I need to start speaking again. Because sharing my story, it helps other people, but also helps me. I get to fight to be understood in like a world that I'm not.
I'm so glad you did, and I'm so glad that you got out of that place, because you have inspired hundreds of thousands, millions of people, and getting to know you on this trip has just been amazing and inspirational for me, and given me so much perspective and so much gratitude for what I have, and to see you spreading that message and that positive energy is just like, it's heartwarming. And I'm so happy that you didn't choose to take your life in that moment, because you've got so much to give, and there's so much purpose, and
So it's so much of why like I wanted to celebrate this, because to a lot of people like celebrating going blind isn't something you think, but like for me, like I freaking made it. You know?
Yes, you did.
Like I didn't think I would, and like this is like, yes, I'm here. Like I'm doing something that I never thought I would. Like, yeah, like I'm just ready to go to Paris and like relive the one good thing I had that year. Going blind took a lot from me, but it's also given me so much.
Yeah.
And like that's the stuff I wouldn't trade for anything. It makes me appreciate every single moment, like riding that bike with you. Like I just appreciate every feeling, every smell, every experience, because at least I'm here and I can make the most of what I've got left, you know? So,
Come here, give me a hug.
A cold cuddle.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so glad we met.
Me too. Oh, thank you for doing this with me. And thank you guys for doing this with me. I told you, I warned you when we started this series, it could get emotional.
Bit emotion.
And it did. And it probably will too in Paris for sure. So come with us. If you like a good cry, let's go to Paris. Let's go to France.
Let's go to France.
Why not, you know? Casual weekend trip. All right, thanks guys for coming with me. Thanks Mona for chilling here.
Thanks, Mona.
All right,
We love you.
I love you guys.
the moment like I hit the air and was like floating, I almost felt like emotional, because I was just like, damn, this is why we live. We have to ride out the bad and live for the good. And that was like a moment I was just floating there, and I was
This is
like,
what it's all about.
This is what it's about.
Thank you.
It's okay.
And you, because of your blind, I think you understand more than everybody what I want to.
Share with them.
Exactly.
Right, I understand your passion more than like a lot of people get it.
And that's why you touch me.